Yeah, let's discuss about the Snowflake today. Yeah, myself, Sridhar. I'm having 16 plus years experience totally, and I am having 8 years experience in big data. Since 3 years, I am working in the Snowflake technologies. So let me start about the Snowflake overview. Snowflake is a cloud-based data warehouse. So here I wanted to discuss what is cloud, what is data warehouse overview, and I will jump into the what is Snowflake. So here first, what is cloud? So we have earlier we have on-prem and cloud. So what is on-prem? What is cloud? Actually, on-prem in the sense, if any organization wants to set up their infrastructure, everything they have to take care. Everything in the sense, servers setting up and software installation, hardware, networking, everything they have to take care. And it requires upfront investment. Upfront investment in the on-prem. And if it is going to the cloud, same, whatever we are doing in on-prem, server setup, software installation, hardware installation, networking, and skill resource maintenance, everything will taken care by the cloud. So here, no need of upfront investment. So how much we are utilizing, that much we need to pay for the cloud vendors. That is called pay as you go. Pay as you go or pay as use. So how much storage you are utilizing, that much you need to pay. How much, what are the resources you are utilizing for the computational purpose, accordingly you need to pay. So in detail, what are the advantages in the cloud and what are the features in the cloud, everything we will discuss in our regular classes. And in the cloud, we need to discuss about the three categories. One is IaaS, second one is PaaS, third one is SaaS. What is IaaS? IaaS in the sense infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So if you are going to opt the any cloud, that can be a GCP, AWS, Azure, whatever it is. So there are three categories. You can opt as IaaS or PaaS or SaaS. If you opt as IaaS, they will provide the infrastructure only. On top of the infrastructure, we need to set up the platform. Then on top of the IaaS and PaaS, we need to set up the software. What are the tools required, software tools required for our business? We need to install it. Then we need to go for our application or data warehouse build. Application or data warehouse, whatever the tools we are going to build for our business, we need to build. Suppose, suppose if you are opting the PaaS, platform as a service, it automatically IaaS is coming into the picture on top of the PaaS. So these two categories will come into the picture if we are opting the PaaS. So on top of the PaaS, we need to install our required software tools. Then we can go for the application building. So here in the PaaS case, no need to worry about the infrastructure and platform. Only we need to take care of the software tools, what we required. Suppose in the third category, if you are opting the SaaS, software as a service, no need to worry about the infrastructure, platform, and software also. Only we can focus on our application build. Only we need to build our business logic. Nothing we need to take care. Everything will taken care by the cloud provider. So each category, what are the tools required and what are the tools providing by the cloud provider, everything we will discuss in our regular classes. Just I am trying to give you an overview here. Okay, this is about the cloud overview. Next one is data warehouse. What is data warehouse? So here I want to discuss two things here. What is database and then what is data warehouse? Here database is meant for OLTP transactions, means online transactional processing, where we can save the data in the form of tables, means structured data. Whereas data warehouse is meant for OLAP, online analytical processing. Here is for transactional processing database. Data warehouse is for analytical processing, and where we can save our storage, our data, structured data, semi-structured data, and even unstructured data also in the data warehouse. Both are for storage, but the different purposes. When we will go for the database, when we will go for data warehouse, and how data will be stored in the database, how data will be storing in the data warehouse. Suppose in the organization, we have the multiple applications like CRM applications, ERP applications, web application like Java, .NET, Python. So each application is having its own database. It can be a MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, mainframes applications for DB2. So from that web application or ERP applications, data will be flowing into the OLTP databases. Whereas data warehouse, so it is, we can say here, single truth of data. Data warehouse, we can say single source of data. Any organization wants to capture the any sales data, purchase data, or customers data, or their business data. Single point of source is data warehouse. So as we have the different sources of databases, all databases flowing into the data warehouses. Suppose we have a data sources like we have DB2, Oracle, JSON files, XML files, whatever. So all the sources data will be flowing into the data warehouses, where these data warehouses can be accessible to the main business users, data scientists, analytical users, machine learning, AI algorithms build, everyone can access this data warehouse. How data will be loaded into the data warehouse using the ETL process. Actually, in the earlier traditional data warehouses, they are following the ETL. Traditional data warehouses process, they are following the ETL mechanism. What is ETL? Extract, transform,
చిన్న డెమో క్లాస్ ఏదో ఉంటాయి చిన్న డెమో క్లాస్ ఏదో ఉంది నాకు చిన్న గుర్తొచ్చింది వాళ్ళేదో
someone is on unmute. Yeah, thank you. So in the traditional data warehouses, they are following the ETL, extract, transform, load. But in the Snowflake big data onwards, in the cloud data warehouses, where they are following ELT, extract, load, then transform. Even in the Snowflake also, we are following ELT mechanism. Earlier in the Teradata, SQL Server, Oracle, they are following the ETL. From the big data onwards, technology, big data, Hadoop technology onwards, ELT coming to the picture. There are more advantages. There are specific reasons why they are following ELT mechanism. We will discuss in our classes. Okay, using this ELT mechanism, we are pulling the data from the regular databases, not only databases, any semi-structured files like JSON, CSV, XML files, and unstructured files, whatever sources available, we are pulling from all the sources and loading into the single source called data warehouse. In our scenario, Snowflake. So how and what are the categories? What are the advantages? What are the libraries we are using? Everything we can discuss. And the data warehouses in the cloud data warehouse particularly, we have 3 available in the market currently. One is Snowflake, Redshift, Synopsys. Fourth one is BigQuery. These 4 data warehouses, cloud data warehouses available currently. Out of these 4, Redshift, Synopsys, BigQuery, Snowflake has unique features and advantages compared to other 3. In all the aspects, pricing aspects, performance aspects, storage aspects, even architecture aspects also. It has a extended unique features architecture-wise in the Snowflake, while compared to Synopsys or BigQuery or in the Redshift. What are those? Why organizations are migrating to Snowflake? Everything we can discuss. Nowadays, all the organizations are moving from traditional data warehouses to Snowflake, even cloud data warehouses to Snowflake. So what are the advantages in the Snowflake? Even what is the architecture of the Snowflake? Snowflake architecture, we have a different layers called storage layer, processing layer, services layer. So in the architecture wise also, it has a positive point while compared to the other cloud data warehouses. What are those? Let me show you here in the pictorial representation. See, this is the architecture of the Snowflake. We have a storage layer, processing layer, and services layer. Sorry. So in the storage, if you are observing here, all three layers are functioning independently. It is in the decoupled manner. This is also one of the benefit in the Snowflake architecture.
Sridhar, one question.
Yes.
Is Snowflake a open source software?
No, it's not a open source, but for trial purpose, they are providing the 30 days trial period. There we can practice ourselves.
Okay.
And even we can sign up into the multiple times with the same email ID.
Mm-hmm.
So for practice purpose, we no need to install any software or no need to configure anything. Nothing, just we need to give our basic details, email ID, and just our account name. That's it. We can sign up and we can practice. We can, whatever in the real time they are doing, same we can do here for 30 days. Once it is expired, then we can jump into the another account creation. Then we can start our practice.
Okay. Okay.
But in the real time, actually, it is not a open source, but it is a pay-as-you-go model. So how much storage you are utilizing, accordingly you need to pay, and what are the resources for the computation purpose, accordingly Snowflake will generate a bill for us. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more thing, does it only work with AWS or any other cloud also?
Yeah, I will cover those 3 points also.
Okay.
We can deploy the Snowflake on 3 of the public clouds, like it can be deployed on the AWS or Azure or GCP.
Okay, thank you.
I will cover that point. Thank you. So here we have a 3 layers functioning independently. And so now we'll look into the storage. So here in this layer, data will be stored in the storage layer, as any other cloud. But what is the advantage and what is the benefit in the Snowflake? What is the unique feature in the Snowflake is it is providing the micro partitions by default. So micro partitions in the sense, if you are querying any data, it has to scan, in general, it has to scan full table. But instead of scanning the full table, instead of going through the full table to retrieve the data, Snowflake will go through the particular micro partitions, it will give back the results. And even if you see the Hadoop previously on-premises, whatever on-premises or cloud, if you see the big data Hadoop, micro partitions we are creating and we are applying externally or forcibly on the Hive tables. But big data is not providing the micro partitions concept by default. Whereas Snowflake is providing the micro partitions by default. We no need to worry about anything. Just we can store the data and we can retrieve the data. This is the extended unique feature to give the performance in the Snowflake. And how micro partitions work, how it will work internally, everything we will look into. Okay, that is called about the storage. Next one is the processing layer. The second one you are seeing here. This is the heart of the Snowflake actually. So for the processing, for the query processing or algorithms processing or data scientists processing, whatever the user you can take, query processing provide the resources for the processing. As part of the processing, it is having virtual warehouses. It is a very important and unique feature in the Snowflake. We have to understand what is virtual warehouse. And it is Snowflake provides in the different sizes of the virtual warehouse. Based on our need, based on our requirement, we can choose the virtual warehouse size. Basically in the t-shirt size, XL, medium, large, extra large, like in such a way, virtual warehouse sizes are available. And pricing is also based on the size of the virtual warehouse. And there is a vertical scale up and horizontal scale up features are there in the Snowflake processing layer. There are more advantages and unique features in the virtual warehouse. We will discuss each point, even the coding also we will discuss in our classes. But it is a very important concept in the processing layer of the Snowflake architecture. And each virtual warehouse has its metadata cache by default. There is a cutting edge advantage in that. I will explain you. Here you need to understand virtual warehouses for the providing the resources for the computational purpose. And it has in the different sizes based on the requirement. We can opt the respective warehouse size. Okay. This is overview of the virtual warehouse and query processing layer. The next one is services layer. Here we no need to do any configuration, nothing we need to do. Everything will taken care by the Snowflake. What it is taking care is infrastructure manager, security purpose, metadata management, and optimization techniques. Because metadata manager, in the sense, if we are uploading any file, if we are processing the JSON file or XML files or any table, it is maintaining the metadata of each file. So that it will, services layer will take care, and authentication and accessing. So who are the users having which object access, and what kind of authentication they have. Accordingly, the objects will be accessible to that particular users, and what are the roles they have, what are the privileges they have. Everything is taken care by the services layer. Just we need to define the, just mapping the roles and users. No need to do, just mapping of the roles, what are the roles and what are the users. That we will see. Okay. And one more important point is just what are the advantages in the Snowflake while compared to other data warehouses. So as I explained, it has the performance. Most important point is performance aspects and pricing aspects and processing aspects, where other data warehouses doesn't have. Suppose Redshift has some features. BigQueries don't have those features, and Synopsys have some features, but everything will be covered in the Snowflake. That's what now Snowflake is capturing the more market in the data warehouse world, particularly cloud data warehouse. Okay, now we will jump into the how to create the Snowflake trial account. What are the Snowflake technical features and technical advantages and concepts? Just we will look into overview. So to create the Snowflake trial account, just Google it, Snowflake trial account, and just sign up with our basic details. See, this is the 30 days free trial account providing by the Snowflake. Just here we are giving basic details. Sridhar, whatever it is, emails. Company ABC. Role generally data engineer, we can select whatever. Data scientist or data engineer, whatever. India, just continue. See, here we can see we have the different editions available in the Snowflake. 4 editions. What are those? Standard edition, enterprise edition, business critical edition, and VPS. Actually, in the trial version, they are not showing and they are not giving the option called VPS, virtual private software. See what are the editions. Standard edition, enterprise edition, business critical edition, and VPS, virtual private software. Here you can see these. Standard edition is having very basic level features, and which is don't have the time travel and multi-cluster warehouse, all these things. But enterprise edition, the whatever the features available in the standard, all of the features available in the enterprise edition. On top of that, we have the standard time travel feature and multi-cluster warehouse feature and materialized views feature. So what are these? We will discuss in detail and with use cases in our classes. When time travel will be useful, what are the use cases, what are the scenarios, and when we are going for the multi-cluster, means for performance aspects and horizontal scale up and vertical scale up, all these things we will discuss. And another version is business critical. So all the features available in the standard, enterprise, and extra features available in the business critical are on the security aspects. If any financial organization wants more security than the enterprise edition, they will opt the business critical. So based on the choosing of the edition, the pricing will be different. So what are the pricings in the standard, enterprise, business critical, and what are the more features in the security aspects, what more in the business critical edition, everything we will discuss. Just currently, just as of now, I am selecting the enterprise edition for our practice purpose, where all the required features available here in the enterprise edition. Okay, this is an overview about the editions of the Snowflake. Now, see, as I told, Snowflake can be deployed in any three of the public clouds. That can be, we can deploy in the Microsoft Azure or GCP or AWS. That is the one-time activity. Whenever you are trying to create the account, that can be a trial account or that can be for your organization or that can be paid, whatever it is, it's a one-time activity. Whenever we are selecting the particular cloud, it will be continuing forever. Here I am selecting the AWS. Suppose if you are selecting the AWS, the underlying storage will taken care by the AWS S3. S3 buckets will be underlying the storage for the Snowflake. That I will explain you in detail. If you opt the Microsoft Azure, Azure blobs will be the storage blobs will be the underlying storage. On top of that, Snowflake will play. Okay. So just now I am selecting AWS. Now region. So you can select any one of the region here. Here we have. But better wherever you are there, means wherever you are residing, nearby a region better to opt to avoid the latency of the queries. Okay. Just I am selecting Asian Pacific region near to us IST. So get started and give the terms and conditions and get started. See here, you can give the training or certification or even you can skip also. Here I am skipping. Skip. See here now just it's a done. Now trial version has been set up. Just only one step remains is just a Snowflake sent a one notification email to our given notification to our given email. So just we will go to this email and just click that to confirm the trial account. That's all. Just already I have the Snowflake trial account already created, and that's what I have given some dummy email. Just only you need to go to this email and click that. That's it. Now how it looks, I will show you. See, it looks like this. See, if you see here, LI646447, this is the account ID. This is the unique. If you are creating your Snowflake account, it will be generated uniquely. And based on our region, which we have selected while we are creating the account, that see, we have given Asian Pacific, right? So that region will be here. And remaining same for everyone, Snowflake, computing, console, everything same. But these two are the different. So here I can give my user SF3 and password. Basically, whenever you are clicking that notification in your email, it is asking to set up the username and password. Okay. So sign in. Okay, this is the classic web UI of the Snowflake. Classic web UI of the Snowflake. So just I will give you an overview of each topic, but in detail we will discuss later. Just I am trying to give you an overview of each concept here. Okay. So this is the overview. First, this is the account name, whatever we are giving. See here roles. See, Snowflake is providing some default roles. Snowflake providing roles by default. Those are account admin and org admin and public, security admin, sysadmin, user admin. These roles, each role is having a specific purpose and a specific functionality. Based on the scenario, based on the use case, we are assigning these roles to the specific users. But whereas account admin role is a super role in the Snowflake. Actually, in the real time, only max 2 or 3 persons having this account admin role privileges. That to client SMEs, even we don't have. Because the user who is having this account admin role is a super user and he can do anything. He can do modify the files, he can do delete the files, and he can change the privilege. Whatever he wanted to do, he can do. That's what very specific persons in the organization have the account admin role, mostly 2 or 3, that's all. And they will create the roles and they will assign the roles to the other users, developer, data scientist, data analytical, like that. That we will discuss in detail. And along with these default roles, we can create our customer roles also. Suppose we have a group of data scientist users group or analytical users, business users group. For them, we have to create the specific role. Then we can create the role, specific role, data scientist role or a business users role. Then we can assign this role to that particular user group. So custom roles also we can create in the Snowflake. How we are creating that we will see. Okay, this is about the roles and this is about the account information, what we are giving while we are signing up. Okay, and now just these are the ribbon items in the Snowflake. Just I wanted to give an overview of each item, not in detail. See, this is the databases. See here in the Snowflake, they are providing the 2 databases by default with the huge data, with the real-time data. To practice ourselves, we can create the analytical models, AI models, whatever we want by using this data, just for practice purpose. And on top of that, we can create our own databases. 2 ways we can create, through this UI or through programmatically also. Suppose all these are the existing databases. And if I want to create the new database, just create and give the database name, just 1, 2, 3, whatever, and some comment. See, if you want to create the programmatically, see what is the syntax? Syntax of the creation of databases, create database, database name. Okay, just finish it. See, test 1, 2, 3 has been created. And we can grant the privileges here. Even we can see the statistics of this database. So how to create programmatically, I will explain while I am explaining the worksheets. Here we can create our databases, tables, views, whatever we want, our SQL, DML, DQL, or DDL operations in the worksheets. Suppose if you go to the database, we are in the test 1, 2, 3 database. There we can create our tables, views, schemas, stages, everything we can create under the database. If you see the structure of the database here, see, it is database. Under the database schema, under the schema, we have tables or views. This is the structure of the databases in the Snowflake. Database, under that schema, under that tables, views, and materialized views, stages, file formats. Okay, now go to the database. And there here we can create the tables. We are under the tables, we can create here. Generally, in the real time, we are not creating the tables or database, whatever the object, we are not creating the using this UI. All objects can be created through the scripts only, SQL scripts only in the worksheets. But we have a provision to create all these things using the UI. Table name, some test underscore table, schema and public schema. Just you can add the column C1 string. See here the data types. So what are the data types? All primitive data types in our whatever the RDBMS databases are having, all primitive data types available in the Snowflake, and like string, integer, double, number, date, like that. And along with that, we have one more data type called variant. When we are using this variant data type is, suppose if I want to store the any XML file or JSON file, CSV file, whatever semi-structured file, if I want to store it in the Snowflake database, then I have to opt the variant database. Okay, so like this, we can add the columns and show SQL. See, this is the syntax to create the table. Create table. This is the order we have to follow. First database name, then schema name, and then table name. Then structure of the table. What is the column name? What is the data type of the column? And what is the length of the data type? Any default values. Everything we have to mention as part of the structure of the table here. Okay, like this we can create the database table. Okay, in the same way, views also, schema, stages, all these I will discuss in detail. What is the stage, when we will create, how to create, what is the syntax about the each object. All these are the Snowflake objects. Okay, this is overview about the databases. Next is shares. This is a unique feature in the Snowflake. Basically, each organization is having their business partners. Some particular data has to be shared to their business partners or sub-organizations. In that case, they can use this share object to share the particular specific data to their business partners. For example, here, any organization is having the two business partners, for example. One business partner is using the Snowflake and another is not using the Snowflake. How they are sharing? In this case, Snowflake provides a feature like we can share it Snowflake users and non-Snowflake users also. In very simple. Actually, Snowflake simplifies everything. Everything simplifies compared to other traditional data warehouses, or it can be a cloud data warehouse also. In the earlier Teradata or even Hadoop Big Data also, this sharing of mechanism is very typical. Typical in the sense we have to write our own frameworks. Earlier, we have written the PySpark frameworks to address this share for the non-technology users. But Snowflake simplifies it. We can share, just create the share object, grant the privileges, and then they can share, they can access the specific data. Snowflake and non-Snowflake users. How we are doing, we will see. But concept is Snowflake provides the sharing for Snowflake users and non-Snowflake users. Clear, right? Who are the Snowflake users? Who are the not Snowflake users? Who are using the Snowflake technology? Those are called the Snowflake users. Suppose someone is not using the Snowflake, they are using some other databases. That can be a cloud or whatever it is, private cloud or public cloud. Okay. Next one is marketplace is just for suppose if you want to build your analytical models, so you can download the specific data. This is just for practice only. Don't worry about this. Suppose if you want to analyze the COVID data or stock exchanging data or some other data, so there are so many models are there. Just you can download those data models, and on top of that, you can build your algorithms. So here just I need to provide to see the marketplace, I need to provide the credentials. Let me continue with here. Okay. And next one is warehouses. Very, very important and heart of the Snowflake. Actually, most of the certification questions and interview, mainly interview, if you are able to answer the warehouse concepts questions, then it is easy to crack it. Because in the real time, which warehouse and what in the performance aspects and cost perspective also, warehouse, we need to understand the concept of the warehouse. Okay. As I explained, warehouse is providing the resources for processing. It has in the different sizes available: medium, small, X, small, large, extra large, and based on our requirement, based on the processing, what kind of data we are processing. Suppose if the data scientist is processing the huge algorithms, then it requires the more resources. Then we have to opt the big size of the warehouse. And sometimes multi-cluster warehouse concept available in the Snowflake for parallel processing, for parallel computation. How it will, we will see. And this warehouse is the auto suspend and auto resume options here. Auto suspend means while creating the warehouse, if you are opting the auto suspend, if you are not using the 10 minutes, suppose if you are giving the 10 minutes auto suspend time, if you are not using or if you are not referring the particular warehouse, created warehouse, after 10 minutes, it will go in the suspend mode automatically. Means if it is in the suspend mode, we don't have, Snowflake will not charge us. In the costing perspective, we have to opt this auto suspend mode. And whenever you are using this particular warehouse, it will automatically resume back. So there are so many features, everything we will discuss. And how to create through UI like this. Click the create. And basically better we will create always in the programmatically. How? Just create the warehouse name, some test warehouse, test underscore warehouse 1. Okay. So what size you are going to create? Based on the requirement, we can create X small, small, medium, large. So what is this credits? I will explain it. This credit means for the billing purpose, these credits they are using. Okay. So I will explain in detail later what is the credit, how pricing will be happening for this warehouse. Currently, if you take medium, maximum clusters. In this particular warehouse, how many clusters you required? And scaling policy, auto suspend, auto resume. See, this is the syntax to create programmatically. Create warehouse, warehouse name, all parameters we have to provide here: size, type, and auto suspend and auto resume, whatever the minimum cluster size, maximum cluster size, everything we have to provide. And suppose Control C, just I am copying this, later I can create it in programmatically. As of now, just I am finishing it. See, test underscore WH1. Finish it. See here, test underscore WH1 has been created. You can see the parameters of this particular warehouse. Okay. Now, see, this is overview of the warehouse. See, all these are in the suspended mode. And this is started. Just now we have created, right? That's what it is in the started. Means it is in the running mode. Started in the sense. See, next is the worksheet. See, this is the place where we can write our coding. It may be SQL code, whatever it is. We can do the DDL operations, DML operations, DQL operations, whatever we can do programmatically. Worksheet is the place in the Snowflake. And we can create the n number of worksheets by clicking on this plus symbol. Okay, suppose just now we have created the warehouse through UI, right? Just see here, suppose test WH underscore some code like this. Okay, this is the warehouse I wanted to create programmatically. Just I have given the different name. Create warehouse, warehouse name. All these are the parameters. Just select it and just run it. Okay, run. See, run it. See, warehouse test underscore WH underscore code successfully created. See, if you see here, go to the warehouses, back. See here, test underscore WH underscore code has been created. So what are the clusters? What is the running, whether it is the running status or not, or auto suspended, how many minutes, everything we can see here. So like this, all the objects we can create here, we can modify, we can alter here, and we can delete here. Or all the DML operations we can perform here in the worksheet, okay? And even we write our queries. See here we have to select our roles and which warehouse we are using and under which role we are executing our code and what is the database here and what is the schema here. Everything we have to select here, and on top of that we can write our queries here. Whatever the warehouse we are selecting here, those many resources we are utilizing. It means that suppose already I am referring the existing database and I am trying to query here. Select here. See, Snowflake underscore sample underscore data is the database name. TPCH SF100 is the schema name. Orders is the table name. Just run it. Just run it. Just it is getting executing. This Snowflake sample data is providing, this database providing by the Snowflake itself. Okay, see almost 150 million records are there. These 150 million records are displaying here, right? See here we can download these results and even we can filter by the columns also here. See here. So suppose if you want to display few columns, if you want to hide any columns, like everything we can play here using this option. See how much time it has been taken, 27 seconds. Okay, how much time? 27 seconds taken to display the 150 million records. Okay, This 150, suppose now let me execute one more time here. This is very important. See, I am executing one more time. One second. Before that, before executing, see here. See this query ID, click this. This is the profile. Suppose if you want to see the execution plan of the query and what are the resources it is consuming, everything we can track here in the profile. Suppose if any query is executing from long time, so if you want to track and if you want to profiling that particular query, come to the profiler and you can see how much, what are the resources and what is the problem, troubleshooting point here. Okay, and what is the scan progress, how many bytes it is scanned, everything we can discuss later. What is the for each purpose, how many partitions it is scanned. Okay, let me go back to the worksheets. And so first time it is taking the 27 seconds. Now let me execute one more time. Run. See how much time? 88 milliseconds. First time it has been taken 27 seconds. Next time onwards, it is taking less time, 88 milliseconds. Why? How it will happen? This is the unique and great feature in the Snowflake, which is not available in any other cloud data warehouses. If you see here, let me show you here. See, in the warehouses, in the processing layer, we have virtual warehouses, right? Each virtual warehouse is having the cache, metadata cache. So it is handling by the Snowflake itself. We no need to worry about that. But we have to know, as being a developer, we have to know how it is doing. First time it is giving the 27 seconds. Next time onwards, it is giving the milliseconds of 150 million records. Because first time it goes to the particular order, this database and orders table, and it is displaying to us. But after first time, it is storing these results, whatever 150 million records or 400 million records, whatever it is, it will store it in the cache, warehouse cache, metadata cache. We have the different types of the caches, results cache, metadata cache, and others. So what is the purpose when it will be used, we will discuss in detail. But here it will be, the results will be stored in the cache. Instead of going to the database and fetching the results, it is fetching from the cache. That's what it is giving the within 88 milliseconds, even 150 million records. So in the performance aspects, this metadata cache is playing very important role. Here, as a programmer, we no need to do any configurations, but we have to know why it is taking less time from the second time onwards. This is the beauty of the Snowflake. You can imagine this 150 million records, how much time it will take in the traditional data warehouses. Okay, like this, we have so many features in the worksheets. We will discuss in detail. Okay, next is history. History tab. In the history tab, see, we can see all the history of our execution, queries or whatever code, materialized views, whatever. You can create the DDL or DML, DQL, whatever the operations you are doing, all you can see here. The statistics of each query, whether it is failed or success. If it is failed, it is showing in the red color. If it is succeeded, then it is showing in the green color, and which warehouse it is showing. See, if you see here, these are the two queries. Two times I am executing the same query. First time it is utilizing the warehouse, medium warehouse, but next time it is not utilizing the resources of the warehouse. because it is available in the cache. It did not go to the database. See, that's what the time difference. 27 seconds first time, 88 milliseconds next time. So all the statistics we can see here of the each query. Okay, this is the account admin. So where we can see the account means utilization of the storage, utilization of the resources, how much credits we are used, that much we need to pay accordingly. So everything we can track under the account tab. So what is the storage utilization, credits utilization, everything, billing, what is the billing, how many users are there, what are the roles available, what are the policies. Policies in the sense, if you are connecting to the Azure or AWS, we have to create some policies that I will explain you how to create and all. Everything available here in the account tab. Even resource monitoring also. See, what is this Raider account? You know, the Raider account is, suppose if you want to share our specific data to the non-Snowflake users, suppose our business partners are not using the Snowflake technology. For them, we have to create the sharing. For that, we have to create the Raider account. So everything we can track under this account tab. So partner connect. So all these things we will discuss. And one more important point is Snowsite. This is called classic web UI. Recently, they have introduced Snowsite UI also. All the features available in the classic UI are readily available in the Snowsite UI. Extra is, I will show you. See. So this is called this is called Snowsite UI. So the extra feature and very, very important is, see here. See, in the classic UI, we are seeing the worksheets, right? All those worksheets are called SQL worksheets, where we can write our SQL queries, DDL, DML, DQL. But extra additionally, here we are using the Python sheets also. See, in the other cloud data warehouses, for processing purpose, they have to use the Databricks. Even previous Snowflake projects also, we have used the Databricks. But now Snowflake introduced called Snowpark, where it has all the features of the Spark. So for processing, for any computational processing, no need to go for the Databricks. We can use the Snowpark. Such a beautiful feature they have introduced. Here we can write our coding in the Scala or Java or Python. Whichever the language you are comfortable, that we can write here. So here also I will cover the Python libraries. What are the required Python libraries and Python APIs? We will discuss that also in our regular classes. See all the databases, all the features available here, which are there in the classic UI. But additionally, Snowpark is available in the Snowsite. Okay, this is the overview of the Snowflake. Just as I am trying to cover the main features and advantages of the Snowflake technically. And coming to our course structure here in the Snowflake prospective, any doubts or any clarifications, questions? Just for Snowflake prospective, course prospective, we will jump into later. Just a few more minutes. Give me a few more minutes. We will close it. Okay. Just let me show our course structure. See, this is our course structure. So basically, along with, I am covering all the features and all the concepts of the Snowflake. Along with that, just I am trying to cover with the data warehouse concepts also. OLTP, OLAP, what is ETL, what is ELT, what are the pros and cons of each one, and data warehouse concepts and cloud. So coming to the data warehouse concepts, see what are the data warehouse concepts I am referring here. See what is the fact tables, dimension tables, what is the star schema, and when we are using the Snowflake schema, what are the SCD types, type 1, type 2, in which scenario, what are the use cases for each SCD type, and what is the point in time snapshot. Basically, in the previous Hadoop projects, we have written the PySpark frameworks to achieve this point in time snapshot concept. But in the Snowflake, it simplified easily. Just a time travel feature they have introduced. By using that time travel feature, we are achieving this point fit concept. Okay, all these concepts we will discuss. And also Snowflake migration. Nowadays, all are the migration projects only. Migration in the sense, traditional data warehouses to Snowflake. Even a few projects I have seen, BigQuery to the Snowflake. So as part of this migration process, what are the activities involved? What are the documents we have to prepare in the real time? What are the checklist we have to follow? That we will discuss. And technically what we are doing, being a developer, what are the activities we have, daily activities we are performing in the Snowflake project. Why I am discussing, why I am introducing all these concepts is, even if you are good at Snowflake also, suppose if you are not using these terminologies in the interview, so it is a bit difficult to crack. Means these concepts and these terminologies make sure you are working in the Snowflake project. So in the interview perspective, to crack the interview, I am going to discuss all these things. Okay, even in the resume preparation also, what are the roles and responsibilities as a Snowflake developer, that I will guide you. So, and apart from this data warehouse and migration process, everything we are covered as part of the Snowflake technical concepts. And we are also covering integration with AWS, means how we are data integration between the AWS and Azure. These two we are covering. So while discussing this AWS and Azure, if you are having an idea about these two clouds, it's fine. Otherwise, we will discuss whatever we required for this Snowflake. For Python, for these two clouds. So what are the concepts required for the Snowflake developer? We will discuss them. Not end to end, but what required concepts we will discuss. Even not only interview perspective, in the actual onboarding perspective also. Okay, this is about my demo for today. Anyone having any clarifications, questions, doubts, please go ahead. Anyone? Actually, for timing, I wanted to have, if all are comfortable, 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Okay, anyhow, I will inform.
Fine. 6:30 to 7:30. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, just, and can you please ping all your mobile numbers here in the chart? Then it is easy for me to coordinate with you all. Just to me, your contact numbers here in the chart right now. In the Zoom chat, please provide your contact number and a name. Meanwhile, if anyone having any questions or doubts, please proceed.
Madhukar, here, can you give the fee structure and the duration of the course? I missed the starting.
Yeah, actually, I did not discuss about this fee structure, but course is actually 35 to 40 days. Again, based on our discussions, it may extend also. But see, even after course also, if you have any resume preparation or any doubts and all, we can have a one-to-one session, few sessions. Basically, course-wise, we can finish it in the 35 to 40, Madhukar.
So it is on Monday to Sunday or Monday to Saturday, something.
Basically, Monday to Friday only. But based on the, if all are available and if I have time, then we will go for the Saturday and Sunday also. That is based on our plan. But Monday to Friday is the actual one. And coming to fees, because I don't have any other persons, right? So I am charging 10,000, 10K.
Sridhar, are you providing the recording sessions?
Yeah, I will provide the recording sessions.
Okay.
So if people are
So how much you will consider the Python script, using the Python script, developing this one or stored procedure mainly?
Sorry, come again.
So you are going to say the Python, how to use the Python and everything, no? In depth or in the high level?
No, not in depth or not in the high level. Definitely not the in depth, Madhukar, because it's a Python is a version. So what are the libraries required for Snowflake development? Suppose pandas, data frames, all these are required because it's a data perspective, right? So in the data perspective, for processing perspective, what are the libraries, what are the APIs required? Those I will explain, and I am using in the while creating the data stored procedures and all. That we will discuss and I will explain in detail. But not all the libraries, not APIs. It's a version of Python. Even we are not using everything, all the libraries. Very few libraries we are using in the data perspective, Madhukar. And definitely I want to make sure all the persons are cracking the interview. That I will make sure. Even in the Python and SQL perspective also. And if anyone don't have it, because SQL query is important here. So if all are having SQL basics, fine. Otherwise, I will cover that also. SQL basics. What are the joins? What are the constraints of everything?
Sridhar, can you, how much is the fees for the certification?
Certification?
Yeah, Snowflake certification. How much is the fees? Yeah.
Right now, I'm not sure. Basically, 2.5 years back, I have done that is 14,000 that time. Even I have written in my organization itself, they have provided. But fees, how much right now? Just Google it. It will give it in the USD.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you written the Snow Pro certified?
Snow Pro, Snowflake, but advanced in my organization. Here my organization is also conducting certifications. So those I have cleared that I have.
So basic thing is the Snow Pro certified. No, first we need to complete
Correct. Snow Pro is the basic one. Once you complete after 6 months, you have to go for the architect certification.
So how many years of experience are you there in this Snowflake?
Almost 3 years. Next month it will be completed 3 years in the Snowflake.
So purely you are a Snowflake developer or
no?
ETL
Basically,
database this one.
No, basically I am in the data. So earlier I used to work in the big data projects. Now all are the migration projects, right? So I am in the execution, projects execution and RFPs. RFPs in the sense I have to cover everything. from the migration perspective, right? So what are the tools we are covering, and everything we have to cover in the RFE documentation.
Sridhar, actually, I'm from
data governance, data processing, data migration, all these things we will cover as part of the RFE documentation, and execution only Snowflake.
Sridhar, actually, I'm from developer background, so I don't have any knowledge on the data and warehousing concepts. So will it be a good, suppose if I take this course?
Correct. For you, for guys like you only, I am covering the data warehouse concepts. So definitely you can, because see, Snowflake is a baby in the market. Just almost 3.5 years back, it came into the market. But now people are migrating. People in the sense, organizations are migrating from other traditional on-prem data warehouse to Snowflake. So it is the time to capture actually. So definitely data warehouse concepts required in the interview prospective and onboarding prospective. Those concepts I am covering here.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm requesting you all to provide the name and numbers, contact numbers in the chart.
So Sridhar, you said that the big data also little bit covered, right? How much it is, how far it is covered?
Big data means, no, basically I am not covering big data, but in the process of while I am explaining the migration, because two projects we are migrating from Hive to the Snowflake, big data Snowflake. So in that case, what are the pros and cons in the big data, why they are migrating, and what are the steps involved as part of the migration activities, that I will explain. But I cannot cover the big data here, because that is a altogether different topic, Jay Krishna. So we cannot cover everything. Those are two different data perspective, right?
Yeah, I can understand. But how Hive will be at least having? Do you give any overview on the Hive?
Yeah, in the migration concepts I am covering that time. Just I am giving the overview of the Hive, but not definitely in depth, Jay Krishna.
Okay. Okay.
See, while I am explaining
yes.
micro partitions in the Snowflake, maybe I will compare those partitions, how we are handling in the Hive. That's all, like that.
Okay. Yeah, that will be enough, Sridhar.
Yeah. Because I want to be a transparent here. If I said covering, it's not good, right? That's what I am not going to end of the Hive.
Sure. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, please give me a WhatsApp ping if you are not giving me the details here. This is my contact number while you are seeing here. Okay, if no one is having any questions.
Sridhar, one more request. One more request. Actually, I'm having another session from 7 to 8. And is it possible for you to make it 6 to 7 for at least 2 weeks or 1 week, so that later I can make it 6:30 to 7:30?
6 to 7. I cannot give you a word right now, Jay Krishna. Just ping me, okay? Ping to my number. We will discuss that.
Okay.
That I cannot comment right now.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Thank you all. Thanks for your time. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.